Guess what's stirring up a buzz in the economic community? BRICS nations are looking to take some serious steps to step out from the dollar's shadow. Intrigued? Let's dig in. Before we begin, remember to like this video and subscribe for more economic updates. The BRICS bloc of economically powerful developing nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, recently held their annual summit. And the gathering's official agenda left no doubt about what was foremost on the minds of participants. The primary focus of the summit is to discuss de-dollarization initiatives aiming to reduce the reliance on the US dollar and promote the use of national currencies in international trade. It's been said the BRICS group views itself as an economic counterweight to the West. It's worth noting the bloc surpassed the G7 in its share of global GDP earlier this year. This year's summit also was highlighted by the bloc's decision to expand group membership for the first time in 13 years. The collective economic power of the BRICS is now poised to grow even further. If it does, the efforts for de-dollarization could prove even easier. In the run-up to this year's summit, more than 40 nations expressed interest in becoming members of the bloc, with 22 making formal applications. Invitations to join were extended to 6 countries: Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Now here's where the plot thickens. Imagine a world where oil and gas is traded in rubles or yuan instead of dollars. A BRICS common currency may be far off, but they're making moves that could change the rules of the game. Are we on the edge of something big? Could be. China and India, charter members of BRICS, are the largest and third largest importers of crude oil in the world, respectively. Now that Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Iran are joining, it means 6 of the world's top 10 largest oil-producing nations will be members as well. According to the Middle East Council on Global Affairs, the larger BRICS bloc will control more than 40% of global oil supply, more than 50% of gas reserves, and more than 70% of the world's rare earth minerals. Think of it like this. More control over oil and gas means less reliance on the dollar for BRICS countries. They're thinking of creating their own money. But don't hold your breath, there's a long road ahead for that. Still, as policy analysts at the Observer Research Foundation, an India-based think tank, recently noted, hype about a common BRICS currency might be impractical and premature, but trading in national currencies is becoming a reality. India and the new BRICS member, United Arab Emirates, recently struck a deal that allows India to pay for its oil from the UAE in rupees. Analysts at the Observer Research Foundation emphasized the new agreement is not merely a swipe at the petrodollar arrangement that has prevailed since 1973. It is also a signal that the world's major commodity exporters and importers can try to reduce their dependence on the dollar. Foundation analyst added, if not a new world order, the BRICS expansion is certainly an attempt at an alternative world order. And in the assessment of the Atlantic Council, a Washington, D.C.-based think tank focused on international affairs, the first expansion of the bloc in more than a decade could set in motion its transformation into an even more powerful geopolitical coalition that could accelerate the process of de-dollarization and the transition to a multipolar world. The best we can do is keep our eyes peeled as this story evolves. Don't forget, the world is changing, and we'll be here to navigate it together. Until next time.